This is when we start our garden planning so that come Mother's Day, we could do our planting. These are from Cottage Farms. You get a 3-piece of the Tropical Pink Lightning SunPatiens. They're brand new today. SunPatiens is a really cool hybrid. It's a cousin to Think Your Impatiens, okay? But SunPatiens, they can handle the sun, and they're gonna give you beautiful, gorgeous blooms from early summer all the way through that first frost. So no longer are the days when all of a sudden early spring you have your blooms and then the rest of summer you have nothing. But we know and love our brand Cottage Farms. So to kick off the first day of spring for $27.98, you're gonna get a 3-piece set. They're all gonna ship to you for free when it's time to plant. Here's how they ship. And this is what you can get, whether it's in planters or hanging baskets or perfect for ground coverage, because you're going to get all those blooms. So Katie DeBow is joining us. Katie is our best bud in the garden.
My word.
When I was trained by Mary Beth Rowe, she did tell me to be mindful of how frequently I use a pun.
A pun? Okay, so how many will we get in this segment? 3, you think?
I don't know, Mary Beth. You let me know. Listen, you've never been here too long at QVC to have coaching from the one and only Mary Beth Rowe. What's a SunPatient? Because it's a newer hybrid.
It is, and you love these. You asked me all before, you know, when we started our season in January, when are the Pink Lightning coming back? When are the Pink Lightning coming back? Because you love SunPatiens, because you know they perform. SunPatiens used to be that impatiens you could only put in the shade, and then they would get this disease called downy mildew. But we found better breeding, and then a SunPatient was born. No disease, and they can go in the sun or the shade. So they can tolerate so many different kinds of conditions, and they get to be this size.
I think their color is so good. The Pink Lightning, I wish it could be a convertible, but it's just this fun pop of color. And whether you have a home that's a light white color, or maybe it's a dark brown, maybe it's brick, I mean, the vibrancy of that pink will look so stunning in your garden beds. Many of you are already picking up multiples. So remember, you get 3. It's $27.98. You don't have to lug your tail to the garden store and hope and pray you're picking the best of the best. Cottage Farms has already done that. And not accidentally picking up maybe a breed that isn't gonna work as well for you. That's where SunPatiens comes in to give you that. It's kind of like you perfected a recipe. Like my dad perfected the snickerdoodle cookie recipe. You perfected the SunPatiens.
We perfected the annual, really, is what it is. I mean, if you use annuals, which I do, I garden a lot and I grow annuals, perennials, trees, shrubs. SunPatiens are great for decorating. It's that great pair of pants like you guys have on. You have just...
Wait, Katie DeBow, so it's pants for my garden.
Yes.
I
or
will
throw
order
pillows.
Yes. You can't leave the house without
You
pants.
can't leave the house without pants.
But you make a good point though. Like if you love fashion, or even if you love cooking, and gardening isn't really your thing, but you love to have colors, just get these.
Yes.
If the neighbors have been groaning about your lackluster garden beds, SunPatiens couldn't have been easier. Or maybe you don't have the time as much as you used to put in the effort and the energy into the garden beds. Beds, pots, hanging baskets.
All the places.
It could be the big potters that you do right by the front door.
Right by the front door to greet people. And actually, that's where I love to put my SunPatiens, because they look like this all season long. So you do get these. And actually, Bridget, who was just modeling the flip-flops on the way out, your cute shoes, she was like, wait, how many of these do I put in one pot to make it look like that? And I said, 1. This becomes this by, now depending on where you live.
Like a 12-inch pot?
But yes.
Okay.
By 4th of July. So you are getting high impact. And then, so put 1 per pot. If you're gonna put them in the ground, even though these get to be about 24 inches wide, 2 feet wide at their maturity, if they're in the ground, I want a hedge. I want them planted really tightly so you really can't see. Yes, so it's dense. So I would plant them 12 inches apart if you're going in the ground.
Okay.
But yeah, window baskets, hanging baskets, containers, they don't need a companion. Sometimes annuals need to be planted with something else. The bright, bold colors, you don't need that.
500 out the door. We only have about 3,000 total. Today's the first day of spring, and many of you are picking up on multiples. Grab your SunPatiens. You get 3, and with so many of you picking up on more than 1, you can create that beautiful hedge and keep blooms all summer long. My husband and I have enjoyed, I should say, over the years, gardening together even more.
Yes.
And the first year we put all these bulbs. It was so much fun. Tulips and daylilies, right? But then after the first few weeks of spring, Katie, we had no blooms in the garden. And we were like, whoa. Bring on SunPatiens, because that's what's going to keep that constant color and bloom. Katie comes home with you in the form of a fabulous garden guide. So if you can't remember, or you're like, where did she say, how far apart again it's all right here. How much sun? Is it best on this side of the house or that side of the house? It's all right here. You can always shop with confidence, and instead of going to the garden shop and having to read, I almost think we should have one on set. Those little plastic, they look like little
tags.
popsicles.
Oh my word.
It's an insult. Like, who can read it? It's a joke. You give us a full guide so we know, and we can always shop with confidence.
Well, I'm just so excited to be bringing these because the color is so fabulous. The 3 colors that you get here, which is really unusual because usually you're just getting the color of the leaves and the flower.
Yeah.
But with these, even before they flower, which believe me, they'll start flowering almost right away. I mean, sometimes our ship samples even have buds on them, but they are so colorful and so big. I mean, the way that these fill out, now this is March here. We've been growing these for a couple of weeks, but the way that they fill out the container and fill out the space is so wonderful.
You're right. A lot of times it's just plain greenery.
Yes.
I mean, these SunPatiens are dressed up. They got their jewelry on. You know what I mean? Like, they're wearing their firelight diamonds. The variegated leaves just add so much interest, and you don't have to do all the fancy pots with all the different things. There's enough interest just in this one. So remember, you get 3. Katie has 1 planted in each. These are about 12-inch pots. If you're going to plant them in the ground, as Katie suggested, make a hedge just about 12 inches apart.
Yes.
And they'll fill really nicely. And you've got blooms from the beginning of summer all through that first frost. That's what we're looking for with little to no maintenance. Do I have to deadhead quick?
No, they always keep the shape, never deadhead. The only maintenance is drag a hose, and they will do the rest.
Do you mind if I plant this one in my yard? You gotta wait till close to Mother's Day. Okay, Katie, thank you so much. Check out of your cart because these are going very quickly. $27.98 for 3. That's under $10 a plant. That's so good for how big they fill. Okay, so today, and really throughout this week, we've been celebrating the one and only Mary Beth Rowe. And